first, how's my audio sound? How's my audio sound? How's my audio sound? Okay, I'm not quite sure if that pitchy thing is going to be continuing, but I'm sure someone will let me know. Alright, so getting into today's art stream of a cyberpunk themed thingy-mabobber art recreation of sorts. I am going to be working on this guy. Hopefully that's visible. And I'm going to have like my own modifications and kind of like take my own ideas and put them in here, but I kind of just want to start out and get going with this. I did like a previous, let's see, is that camera straight? Hopefully. Alright, so I did like a previous one last week-ish, last stream last week, but I never finished, so going to Google Photo, or just Google in general, and finding some images. I want to get work done on this leopard, starting off. Let's see, so in the actual image, the leopard has more of a snarl. I think that's an official word, a snarl, 100%. So it kind of tightens up towards the nose in here. And I've kind of taken my own liberty with the face. And then there's... really gotta figure out how to do tags. Oh well, I'll figure that out in the next one. Okay, is my board behind here? Here it is. Alright. Then kinda... And I will, after I finish this whole entire thing, be going over and inking it. Why am I getting texted? Okay. Going over and inking this whole thing, but I just really want to get this started. Okay. So that's gonna come up, and then roughly about in here, that's 100% how teeth look. Yes. Pointy little fangs that the camera hardly picks up. Going to try to avoid the fangs in here. And my reference image is based off a Chinese leopard, I believe it's called. Alright, and then let's see. You have the mouth socket. Yes, this is a mouth socket, 100%. Kind of comes in here. And it will eventually have pointy daggers coming up. And then there's more of a curl to the mouth. Actually, I could probably pull that up just a bit. And then, of course, this will be all ink, so I can feel free to make mistakes. Alright, and then for the eyes, this is kind of the... Let's see. I hope that's visible. Let's see. Should it be? Yes. It looks like it's got Tron eyes going on here. Okay, so since this is kind of following that, there's more of a curve in the eye. Okay, it's not that dark, but I'm working with thicker lead here. And then this eye is kind of going to be up higher because it's on the far side, because the head is, well, technically should be tilted a bit more, but I will fix that later. Yeah, that sort of looks like an angry cat that is totally ready to devour some humans, because that's always a positive thing that we look for in human society. When's your next cat attack? Well, there isn't one. Okay, so let's see, kind of going off. So right here, there's the metal plate, sort of where like the technology is, and it doesn't have something. When I first saw this image that I'm basing this all off of, I swear there was like a, you know, like a mohawk going on this cat, but apparently not. But I think if I can, I will definitely try to get like some sort of steel plate going across, like the Trojan helmets, how they had the thingy-mabobbers that were probably the most useless thing to have in battle. But let's see. And that ear is kind of going to be that'll curve in a little bit more. Then there'll be more of a curve to here, and you have a spike coming in, more of another spike coming in. Okay, let me see how my audio is sounding. Okay, well, that hopefully sounds good. Fingers crossed. All right. And then what I should do here is lower the belly, because they have like, the chest cavity is a bit bigger than I have created it. Should totally raise this thing up so I don't have to like stand so low, but you know what, whatever. Kind of gonna come in here, add the, you know, rest of the jaw. That might be helpful. I mean, I know we all love, you know, like floating lips, because that totally makes sense, but you know, that's helpful. Okay, and then cat ears coming through here, or the curvature of them. And that'll just be like a good reference. Yeah, that looks flattened, so that kind of gives it that vicious look. Yeah. And then I think there's more curve there. All right, and then coming in through here, we see the collar. I think that's sort of how it rounds out too. And then we also see, so this, I probably should have done like the, so one thing I do normally when I build a human being is I like build the skeletal structure, not telecal structure. I can speak, I swear. You build the skeletal structure first, like basics of where the spine lines up, where do the shoulders line up, how do the hips fit in, where your arms located, and you just build that like stick figure, because that's what stick figures really are. They're just, you know, basic skeletons. And then you have the paw. No, it's not going to curve. It's going to come more down here. Curve to the shoulder, because we got this. Actually, wait, I should move that up there. And then make more of an elbow. And there's more like, I think that's the muscle. I'm thinking like how long this should actually take me is like 7 hours-ish. probably shouldn't even take me that long, but if I want to stream the whole thing, I think it should roughly take me about 7 hours. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm totally going to have to raise this up. Okay, so move everything out of the way so I don't knock everything off. All right. I know it's terrible. I should have had this done before, and yet here I am fixing it live. Ah, God, how awful. Okay. All right. That's one. I probably shouldn't have done all the sides up at once, but you in place. There we go. So now I don't have to crouch down, and all I have to do is tilt the camera up like that. Perfect. Fantastic. And lighting wise, if I move the light like that, looks a bit better. Yeah, I should definitely find a way to do how to do tags. Okay, so now I don't have to be. I need a sound effect for that. Okay. So let's see, kind of coming in here. So one thing I will say, normally when I draw, I usually I've been using a 2H pencil, and that's not like super soft, but it's just preferred because it doesn't make as much. When you have to erase it with a B pencil, it just leaves a whole lot of stuff, especially for me because I tend to push very hard. So it's nice when, you know, you don't have to worry as much about that. Okay, and this cat's paw, so I'm assuming, boom, like how, let's see. I'm trying to, sometimes you have to like physically act out how an animal is. So let's see, shoulder cap is right there, or the scapula, I think that is, comes down here. And this one kind of comes, ooh, wait, I might need to move you back a smidgen. Not a pigeon, a smidgen. I think that's the word. Official Google word is pigeon, not smidgen. Okay, so now I don't know what I'm talking about. This is why I should not be a grammar teacher. So this is all going to be in shadow down there. And then, ooh, also there's this curve in the body that comes in here. And one thing they didn't do on the actual thing was add a tail. And I just feel like, how could you like miss the most important part of a cat? I mean, come on, like, you don't recognize a cat by its face, you recognize a cat by its tail. I mean, it's the only side of the cat you see. Let's see, I don't know if it should be dragging or not, because I think the real use for the tail is for balance, and it doesn't really need to balance, but I think if I show a little bit of it, it'll look better. Then in the image, the woman actually has, so one thing I learned last time I was creating this was I had stuck the woman up just a tad bit too high, or not a tad bit too high. What I did was I elongated her, and I could have, I didn't elongate her enough, and I elongated the guy a bit more, so the woman in actuality is probably closer to 5'6" instead of like 5'11". So there's a bit of that, and the guy is probably like 6 foot something, but a bit of the proportions are off because the chest should technically be up here, and then abdomen kind of comes in here. This should, but what I can do is increase the size of this guy's head. And yes, I know I am jumping around, but it's good to move around and not stay to like one certain area, because if you stay to one certain area, your brain grows used to it and zooms in on one, you know, and all this itty bitty little detail. And wait, there we go. Okay. So your brain zooms in on one little itty bitty detail, and it's like the whole thing's under a microscope, and you can't see anything else that's out behind microscope. Wait, I need a time check, because why does it say 1:15? I don't believe that. It's only been like 20 minutes, 24 minutes-ish. Huh, weird. Okay. So your brain zooms in and you can't see anything else. So you get that telescope vision. So moving up in the world, or moving up on this guy's face, his vision is kind of like, and when you do art, you have to add sound effects, otherwise you're not a genuine artist. I'm sorry, but that's just kind of the truth. I know it's terrible, but it's like written in the official rule book of being an artist. You have to make sound effects in order to make your statements sound truthful. I know it's terrible, but hey, you know, what can you do? Okay, and then his ear is kind of, no. His ear's a bit more up here, and it's not such like a, he doesn't have like huge sticking out ears. Well, ish, but not all ears stick out, but you know, not like so far out to the side. And his glasses kind of come down here, and I think they meet more like in the standard middle, but how I've been drawing it, it's meeting up closer to the top. That's because he's got his glasses. Yeah, that is a professional. Can that even be seen? It might not be able to be seen. Oh my god. And if it's not able to be seen, it was never there. See? Nothing. Okay, so what I should have done is I should have just followed the top band, because it doesn't really curve, it's more straight across. His face is kind of like, but now I'm just, you know, now I'm just making a huge mess on my paper, and I should go back and refix everything, because, you know, that's how professionals do it, is fix their work instead of leave it to rot. But, you know, there we go. Ish. Yeah, that looks closer. Alright, and don't forget the standard here. His nose kind of comes out more. He's got his, how far is, no, his center part of his nose isn't like more of a, it's more flared out, so that makes sense. And then he's got more of a flare coming in here. He's got his arc, then curves in. Oh wait, can you guys even that might not be able to be seen. Is that more visible? Do I need to do one of these? Can that be seen now in the rest of my room? Nope, just that. And whatever's on my vision board. Okay. Great. Jolly good fun. Alright, and then he's also got this frame that, okay, that looks better. So there will be some shibba-ba-ba-ba. Some shibba-ba-ba-ba is an official word in the dictionary. If you don't believe me, don't look it up, because it's not a word that is used by official people. It's used by artists. 100%. If you look up Artist's Guide to True Words, it's in there, I swear. All right. Is my camera kind of... Looks like it is. Okay. So, I guess kind of tuning up his head. Because he doesn't have like a bulbous head. It's not a light bulb head. I mean, as fun as it is to have your head look like a light bulb so that you can be known as the smart one in the room because you always have the ideas, that is not this man's fate. Okay, I don't know how. I should just hurry. Hurry. Run for your lives. Okay, so it kind of comes back. Arcs. I mean, his forehead, he's got more forehead exposed, but it's not... That looks a tad bit better. And then he's got like a light buzz going on. Not like an alcohol buzz, but just, you know, light buzz. Which is, no, not that drastic of an ear point. He's not an elf. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe he could be an elf. Okay, and then, no. I can't zoom in anymore in my photo? What? I've zoomed in as far as I can? This is ridiculous. Okay, his jaw has more of this. So let's see, his jawline hits like, yeah, so right, like, I think I already said this, but generally when I create artwork, I have to physically act everything out or I'll measure stuff on, like, everything's kind of based off myself, I know. So narcissistic, but his top lip, at least on me, my jaw hits roughly around my top lip. Like the corner of where the jaw hits. And then, so another thing with him is his nose, his eyes should start like roughly around the tip of his nose, like right here, go up is where the corner of the eye is. And also on this character, the corner of where his jaw hits too. So I think my nose is skinnier and that's not exactly how my jaw looks, but he's got more of this, you know, that's my impression of a strong person, or, you know, strong-jawed human being. Actually, that's my impression of King Tut. Yeah. Okay. And when I ink this will look a whole lot better, and it'll look like, wow, you're a professional. And then, how low do his lips hit? He's got, so his lips, like, for anyone that isn't an artist, or if you are an artist, and don't know this already, but generally your lips are going to be hitting like dead center of your eye. At least when you're looking straight forward. If you're looking off to the side, I actually haven't measured out that one, so I can't like give you the official, oh yes, these are the measurements for this, and but that is, yes, you have to also as an artist sound like a cheesy French person. Okay, so that's kind of just, you know, basic lineup of the face. Also, ooh, interesting. So what I'm going to do for this is add where the lights and the darks are. So he's kind of got, because I'm going to go over this with brush and ink and just give this whole thing a wash. but he's got like right here. The artist who did this was really good. I mean, I'm not trying to diminish my own work because I think I'm pretty good, great, awesome, spectacular. I could take the role as Spider-Man as the spectacular. No, please no. And then he's also got more of like where his temples hit. You can kind of see he's got more of a these lines kind of coming in here, which show the here. So it's not like hairline hits, you know, about here. No, it's farther back. Okay, and then this. I should probably move off of him in just a moment. But, so this is going to be light. This is all shadow. It's got like, right here, a little tip of ultra dark. Or the darkest part in that section. And then like right here is the darkest, like dark. And then there's more of a curve coming in here. And yeah. I mean, he looks really young in this because I haven't finished filling out the lips and the hair and his, you know, muscles and luscious 5 o'clock shadow. But I have yet to get there. And then can't tell if he's got like a tattoo or whatnot, but he's kind of got some, you know, little. What to me it looks like leaves kind of hanging out on the side of his chest. Ooh, maybe he has like the whole, you know, like a whole tree branch spouting from his armpit. And maybe it's like a face and a bunch of leaves. That's probably what it is. Okay, and then also, yes. Okay, so there's also a bit of a curve that comes in here. So here's where so that line doesn't get mistaken. That is like the tip of his jacket, and then he's got his fur animal wrap or faux animal wrap. Okay, and then moving on to her. I think her shoulders can kind of come out more. One thing I'm realizing is hard. It's kind of it's hard to play to the camera in some sense because I need to I need to be left-handed or switch my whole setup around, but I don't want one side of my room to be shown. It's clean and everything, but it's not just, you know, it's like I don't want to show that part of my room. Probably already showed it, but yeah. Okay. That is officially how a hand should look. It should look blobby and yeah. Okay, and her arms are actually going to be a bit thicker because she has a coat on. And it kind of comes in here. And I know the original the original photo I'm working off shows bit more skin and everything, but I kind of think I can make something just a tad bit more elegant. Because elegant, whatever, I can't speak. But I think I will keep this part of the coat because I think it's a cool way to have a coat. How it goes from, so like right here is supposed to be all like fur, and then it comes into like this nice black elastic wrap. I'm assuming it's elastic. That holds onto the arm. And then her hand comes up here. She's got a pinky. That's how you draw pinkies. It's a short little line. Hopefully that's being seen. And then another finger there, another finger there. Yeah. And I think she doesn't have like skeleton fingers, but you know. I think in the image they also made it so her hip was popped out, but her, like, it's just such a weird angle, because in the actual photo that I'm looking at, it's like she's leaning her whole entire chest forward and, like, popping out a hip. It just doesn't look comfortable, because the spine doesn't look at rest. But I could be wrong. Who knows? That could just be my own personal how I see things, that it just doesn't look like it's comfortable, or it could actually be what I'm saying. Who knows at this point? But I am the one who tells the story now. So yeah. Okay. And let's see, darn it. Okay, so I had the kneecap here, and I think last last stream or whatever, I did a thing where it was like, yes, here's how to get the perfect knee alignment, and this little part of the dress is supposed to be more up here. But I think if I kind of curve it around here, and have that pulled in tighter, if you're walking, it'll be easier because your knee isn't, like, physically pulling against a dress. I was about to say, that seems like a hard dress to put on, what I'm looking at, because it's got the wraparound, but then again, like, anyone that wears holy jeans, not like religious jeans, but, you know, like holy jeans, can totally understand, and it's probably not even that big of a deal. So we're gonna say on her free time she wears holy jeans. That way there's no issue of she knows how to walk with her knees exposed, and, you know, it's not uncomfortable. Because I know sometimes when you put on jeans that are holy, your foot gets stuck in it, and then it's just like, my knee doesn't bend right there, and yeah. Okay, so now, actually, going to have it so this section's open, like right above her navel, belly button, and then I think that looks cool. And then I think I'll go with the I want to say soldiers, but it's shoulders showing. That line's gonna come in here. This side shows a little bit more, so that line will come there. Because she's, you know, got her shoulder popped out of her shoulder case, 100%. Jacket comes, oh, nope, jacket should be a bit higher than that. Actually, wait, no, it shouldn't, because it's dropped a tad bit lower. So this is how it works. And then for the top, that'll be a little difficult to do. So I don't know if I should, like, have it, I don't know, like, if I really want to drop it, or if it should be more like, top wraps around the chest, drops down right along where the bottom of the rib cage lines up, because that originally what this line was, or these lines right here, they were for the rib cage. Wait, is that even being seen? Like, I think I'm drunk. Yeah, that is totally being seen. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of there. She's got her belt here. I don't know how well this is being picked up by the camera, but it looks like she's got jeans on, because where the belly button is placed. But actually she's got these cool little flange flange things going on, like right in here. That kind of flare out. I think it should. That adds just like a little more movement to her whole, actually it's a costume dress, but costume thing. And then has like, okay, if I was doing this like in like fully colored, I would totally like have a splash of red kind of coming in the center here. But what I can do is have, no, wait. Actually, no, that'll work, because how her body is rotated, it will work perfectly like that. And then kind of want to round that off and then have it kind of come down here. That might be kind of cool in black. Okay, yeah. So that's how that's gonna line up. This is like still the same dress. And then of course there'll be some lines in here for just natural clothing movement. She does have a bit of a pop to her hip, so there will be more of a line in here, and maybe I can get this to kind of come up so it looks more like there's a ripple in there. Alright, so now moving on to the next bit. Right under her whole bob, no, not, bun, yes, bun. I don't know why I said bob. So bun, so coming up here and kind of just tuning this all up. Someone got a socket wrench and I can tune this up very easily. So coming in here, we have this line, and then we have this kind of, okay, it doesn't really show it, but I will have to use my own imagination that it kind of just levels out like that. I could probably just cut this picture down too. Okay, so right here is the other side of this like waterfall. So back behind them, there's this huge like waterfall, and it kind of, so what I did last time was I lined it up with like the bottom, yes, perfect, with her eye line. And all this will eventually get straightened, so if someone freaks out about it not being perfectly straight or whatnot, not a whole lot I can do for you, I'm sorry. And stepping back, yeah, sure, it looks great. Ooh, also, there's this that kind of comes in as like, no, it's not that dramatic of a turn. This kind of comes in here. So this is like a whole building back here, and then there's, that's also lights. So all this is like a lighted area. I think same with, there's a little section here that's all lights too. And okay, so I'm cheating and going to just, you know, stick a ruler. What did I just try? You know what? I don't know. I can't do anything about that. So that's kind of just guidance line. Did I drop anything of importance? Is it important? No, it is not. Nor is that. I have an issue of dropping things. Call me Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Well, not really danger prone, but whatever. So So this is going to be all like a solid stone. Right, my back piece, so it makes it easier for me to draw on. Wasn't there? Oh, whoops. Well, one issue with drawing is that my suggestion is just stick Vaseline on your hand. Works great. Anyways, so this is going to be the wonderful waterfall, which will not be perfectly lined up and kind of, you know, it's got its waves in here, so. And then this will kind of come down here. And this is more of like a darker patch where the rocks are showing through, or yeah, where the rocks are showing through. It's just not a whole lot of water there. Maybe in here I can make it more, just a reminder for myself to, like, say, make that darker. How many minutes have 41 minutes? I'm going. Excuse me. Okay. Now. Perfect. Okay, so then it's about her elbow is where there's supposed to be leafy ferns. Or not, more of palm, I think. It's more of a palm tree variant of some sort. But I think since I didn't extend her body down completely and I'm not making this perfect, there's going to be a palm here. Like that will be, no, actually this one will be the highest. These are more, not like standing up, but they're more droopy. Not like Snoopy, but they're just very droopy. Why do I rhyme? And then this, there's like one coming off here. It's got the slats. It's not really slats, but who knows what it is. And then her elbow kind of conceals most of it, so I'm going to have to make up my own mind about what's fully going on here, but I think that can be seen. Oh, wait, no, I'm getting a bit too light, probably. Double checking. No, actually I'm not. Okay, perfect. It's always nice when something goes your way. I think. Still need to figure out how I can do the tags to say, if you want this, come join here, or look at this. And that way maybe more people will come and join in, because I personally think I could talk forever, and I have an issue of talking. I was clinically proven to talk more than the average human being. Than the average human being. I know it's terrible. Hi, welcome. This is Arius. I've been talking to cyberspace for 47 years. I have yet to hear a response back, but from the best part of from what my knowledge says, if I continue to talk, someone might actually hear me. Okay, and then we have like another bush that comes in here that's really, it's got all these, it's not really a bush, it's more of like a, like a fern. Fern starts with a B, so that's why I said ba. Darn it, I have the hiccups. Okay. Well, semi-hiccups. And then in, like, it's not, like, right here is where it gets cut off, and it's more all tightly knit in here, but since I have the space, I'm not gonna do, you know, I'm not going to go with what the recommended picture is. Ah, yes. Welcome to How to Make a Picture. And today we will be recommending This is how it goes. Nothing. Oh my. So the fern kind of, sweeps in here, does its swoop-de-doops. Swoop-de-doops is an official word. Don't know where it came from or what its true meaning is, but it's an official word. And that kind of just encompasses this area. And I'm just going to make a circle around that for me to, just remember that's where that is. And then this gets better. I have to lower myself down to, it's like, okay, so that's, I was going to say eye level, but it's not really eye, it's semi-eye level, I think. Or it is more of an eye level. You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay, and then her leg is actually, oh, wait. If the kneecap is here, I want her, to look like she's been doing, oh, whoops. Whoops. Oopsies. I know what I did. I made her legs too long. Her hands, arm proportion is perfect. Like that should be, coming in here. I should probably clean this up so you can actually see what's going on. Wait, no, yes, it comes in more like that. So the hands usually reach down to, let's see, where do they reach on me first? Middle finger on my hand generally reaches to mid-thigh. I know that's not perfect, but so say this arm is rotated here and the forearm is about the same length except a little bit more extensions because the fingers. So if I do here and then no, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm just gonna do something like this, and that's right about above that U. So this should be mid-thigh. Okay, so if I curve her hip out, no, I think that'll work actually. I don't need to adjust the hips that much. It's more of the leg length. Actually, you know what? Genetic mutations happen and not everyone's perfect. But yeah. No, her legs still feel too short there. If I cut it there, so... But okay, so on this side, it feels like it's a good length. Actually, I could just extend her arms. Then I wouldn't have to really worry about this. I think that's what I might do. So if I'm going to extend her arms, I'm going to want them to come out farther, and I'll just have to drop that. So I won't, no, let's, 48 minutes. Okay, so I could totally do that in this next couple minutes. 20 minutes-ish. No, just 10. Because I'm only doing the hour streams because I don't want to do much more than that. And I kind of need to do other stuff. I know it's terrible. Okay, and there's this cybernetic light coming in through here, and then that is roughly about floor. That's where the floor horizon is. So horizon line is right behind these guys, and then the second horizon line for the car is in here somewhere. And one thing I will say is I used to love drawing cars, but that was when I was in what? Kindergarten, first grade, second grade. When did I stop drawing cars? Might have been 5th grade. I don't know. Might have even been earlier, but I didn't really get into it. Or not get into it, but I was good at it at that age. I just hadn't developed my, better sense of how to draw cars, but from what I see is kind of right in here is where the top of the car is. Roughly about here is going to be another mark. Right there is, yes. If you don't know, essentially, if you don't know how to draw something, give it like different types of lines and dots and just connect the dots. It works perfect. Actually, this is about, I would say that's more there, because this is, that kind of curves down to about, like, I think this is, okay, so I think the car this is based off of, it's like a futuristic Bugatti, I think is the name of the car. And my car skills of drawing are out of date. It might be even there. And then this kind of curves down. It's got its fancy frying oven in the front. It's got its wheel. I'm gonna need to practice on this off camera probably, but you know what? It is what it is. And then, so like other little known fact is, for those people that say they can't do art or aren't really artists themselves, or say they aren't, or are artists and they still can't figure out how to do something, is how to do something. Your brain actually, what am I trying to say? I want to say that when you're creating stuff, your brain has to learn how to develop it. So the longer you work on something, the stronger it is. It's like building muscles. So if you haven't worked on something, you really have little to no concept of it. So one thing for me that I know in like making characters and whatever, something that I personally need to work on better is, well, my leopard's decent, but because I've got foliage down, I haven't really done a whole lot of buildings, but those are simple enough ish. People are pretty easy for me. So vehicles, that's like the main thing that I need to work on, because I haven't really used that muscle in my brain. So if you say, like, heads up, not heads up, but like, just so you know, if you say, oh, I can't do something, technically you can, it's just that you haven't had the time, or you just haven't put the work in, or just haven't really wanted to work on it, to build that part of your brain muscle up. So like for me, I totally could have been a pro at drawing cars, but instead I decided to draw humans. I should, the tire is about a couple inches below the car, so this is kind of going to be the front. That is not where the grill is going to be, so I will not be cooking things there. Might be able to, ooh, okay, I see what I'm doing here. I've like completely changed the car. So this isn't going to be like a Bugatti or whatever. It's going to be whatever those things are called. The treat. It's not Bugatti, but it's Biscotti. Yeah, it's going to be Biscotti. I know, fancy car, right? Okay. That's kind of gonna curve up. Then that. Surprised, I actually haven't. I'm not doing so bad. This does cut off the wheel though. That will curve in though. Maybe I won't need to work on the car off camera. Who knows? I might be a natural. That is actually a pretty decent circle. I am surprised with myself. You know what? I'm gonna call it quits. I am a natural. Okay, and then the second hubcap. Wheel rim. It's kind of gonna come in here to this Pascati. I think that's how I'm saying it right. I hope I'm not saying something really offensive. That would be a shame. Okay. And then it's got its... Ooh, wait a moment. Yeah, that's how... Oh, wait, no, they didn't. I was gonna say the actual image forgot something, but it did not. Believe it or not. It wouldn't be that high. It's more angled that way. So it'll be smaller because you don't have your... Had to clear my throat. Okay, you don't normally have your rear side view mirrors. I haven't driven in a while. I forget these things. You don't normally have your side view mirrors tilted forward. You have them tilted back. So that's one thing that should come into consideration. And then, okay, it's almost an hour. I'm getting closer. That is looking fabulous. Well, except for the back end of the car. That's back end of the car is a little bit questionable. I mean, I don't know about you, but it looks great. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, that is... I know this wheel's turned out, and technically anything farther back should be smaller, and that right there is where the tire should actually hit because of distance. So if something's closer, it's bigger, and something's farther away, it's totally bigger, 100%. I just have to... bring the car up. Might even make that rim sort of... Okay, so that's obviously something I need to improve my work on. But you know what? Hey, I have... How many more years do I have? Well, I don't know, but I think I have plenty of time to actually draw a car, hopefully. Just realized how close that is, and the vibration of me erasing stuff is messing everything up. But I think I like this biscotti. Yes, it's an official name of a car. It is called the Biscotti. I know, it's an original name. Okay. Oh, wait, you can't even... Darn it. I thought I had that on camera. How terrible. Okay. And then this is kind of going to come in here to show... That's where the bumper is. And then... Here's the hood. Oh, I could... let's see. So going back to, like, hot rod cars... Or, I haven't really talked about hot rod cars, but they have, like, the skinnier part of the engine, or like an F1 car. I could sort of do something like that, where the narrow part of the engine lifts up so you can see inside. That might be kind of cool. This is just looking more like Hot Wheels car. All right. All right, and let's see how. Okay, so this has more going off the image. It's got that curve, so this side's gonna stick out just a tad bit more. And then I kind of want it to roll, not like completely under, because it's got this. Obviously, I'll modify everything to be in my own design-ish. Huh. That might be a little bit off, but you know what? Whatever. Life happens. And this side won't really be shown, so I'll have to show more of that side. Then this hub, why do I want to say hubcap? It's the rim. It's going to curve more in there. I'll also have to design lights on this thing, so I think, that feels a little bit funny. I think curving it back more there will give it more of that desired look I'm looking for, yeah. Okay, and this is where the fan will go. So it will have many adoring fans in here. That's how professional artists and actors run their lives. If they want fans, they stick them in the engine and like actual fans, and that's how they, you know, have adoring fans, and that's how they have nice fancy cars, because that totally makes sense. Half the time I just say stuff. Okay, so I think that's gonna have to stop there, and I want to get started. Okay, so let's see, where did I put, so this is the dull pencil. Knives are super effective weapons for trimming down pencils. 100%. Especially if you don't know where your pencil sharpener is. A little bit slow though. Okay. Alright, let's see. Yes, that is making some better lines. Okay, so the horizon line of this thing is more, or like where it hits the wall of the thing is more like back there. The lip of it kind of comes up through here, then we have this whole like, I might pull that up just a little bit more. This cliff face that gets cut off by the back of the car that I will have to do later because I don't really want to mess with that at the moment. This actually might have some more movement so we can kind of see it's not just, you know, cut off exactly at her leg. Might look a little bit odd. His hand's kind of gonna come in here. Finger bobbers are gonna go in here. I'm just gonna draw sticks as fingers, because that is how professional artists draw fingers. Just so you know. Okay, and then there's another little flangey thing coming out here. That's what the official plant name is. Kind of comes in here. And then it's supposed to be, in the actual image that I'm looking at, it's supposed to be like right above the leopard's head, but since I have the freedom and power to create whatever I want, it's going to come right at the leopard's head. It's aiming for it. It's had a bad history with the leopard. Okay, so then it's gonna have these little oval leaves. Is everything gonna stay? There we go. Okay. It's gonna have little oval leaves that kind of hang out here and hopefully are visible on camera. Fingers crossed. They're decently. Okay. And then they kind of come down here because it's one of those drapey plants. And they'll kind of just, they'll all be put in there. When I ink it, it'll look great. Okay, and then, wait, how much? Okay, I have 28% on here. And then this might, actually I might just have it come out here like it's been growing for a while. And then also, it looks like it has more of those droopy palm leaves over here. That's a bit of an exaggeration of a palm leaf. It's a stick palm leaf. It's actually how palm leaves were created. They come from sticks. Anything I say is not always factual. Alright, and then I'll have like more of a bush type of drapery plant coming in here just to cover up this cliff edge. It'll probably be like little tiny ovals, but you know what? Or maybe I'll make it more viney. Like poison oak, or wait, which one's the one that climbs onto, I think it's poison oak that climbs onto trees, so I'll have to make it more like that, but more sort of in the style of this. And then gonna come in here, and it looks like there's a concrete wall that kind of comes up here. I'll have to look how to do leopard's legs, because not in the actual image the leopard isn't showing that much of its legs. It gets like cut off right here, so you don't see any more. The car's supposed to be moved up and all that, but I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Yeah, it's called superpowers of artists. Ah, yes. What's your super? Well, I kind of do whatever I want. Effective skills of talking to myself. Okay, and then this is kind of going to drain in here. Do it swoop-de-whoop. Official word. Swoop-de-whoop has always been an official word. No doubts in my mind. Alright, and that is going to be another pencil sharpening. Okay, and then since I don't really get to see this because the car technically, like right about everything's in the actual image is shrunk or bigger. But right in here is kind of where it curves, so that'll just have to curve off screen. I kind of want you to be here. Do I want that to be sharp? I'll sharpen it later, I guess. And this is like the top half of it, which will curve more in there, and it'll just be more narrow, but it's hard to tell at the moment. And then, ooh, like some of those fluorescent lights can kind of, should I do like right here is gonna be, should roughly be about ground level, and then like you can have some of those fluorescent light packs coming in here. Packs, strips. These dark little areas are supposed to be fluorescent lights, 100%. That's how they look. Okay, that's how that's gonna look. And then also on the actual image that I'm basing off of, is apparently this is supposed to be like a mirror reflected kind of vehicle, but I'm good. No, I don't want to do a reflected mirror. So I'll probably just do like some standard concrete So it's got, I think the concrete would be more manicured, so it won't have like any, like, I want to say grout. It's not grout, but like any moss or anything stuck in there. Or I don't think it's grout. Who knows? Okay. And then that's kind of gonna come off here, and then I'll just have to cut the image like right here. That way it'll look like it's just popping right out at the screen. And then going off distance, so it should kind of come shrinking. I think that's where it should be. So this is the bottom of the car. And that, I think, is where the next line should come out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because if I'm going off like a grid pattern, yes, hopefully that should be correct. And actually, I'm gonna cut it right there. I'll give myself a little bit of space. This line is not going to be perfect, but I'll have to look at it later. Nope. Balance. Alright, hold there, and okay, yeah. And that way, let's see, looking at it, it's kind of off tilt. It's tilted a little bit, but you know what, that's good for now. Let's see, where else do I want to touch up, work on? So I think if her kneecap comes in here, wait, no. I think, so if her hips hit here, I think her leg should start roughly around in there. So right here, I think I could have it. And then where is my compass? No, I think it needs to be smaller. Heads up, this is called a compass. I know, crazy, right? Doesn't look like a compass. It doesn't tell you where north is. Clearly doesn't tell you where south is. They're just extremely hard to close and tighten and make tighter circles, or half circles. So what I'm doing now is just figuring out where the kneecap should be. So for me, if you make a half, what I figured out is if you make a half circle between the arms and like middle, I'm losing my voice, like the middle of your rib cage, like, because your elbow hits like directly right where your rib cage ends usually, so that whole area is like a circle, or it's like an arc that you can kind of like mathematically figure out. So I think if you made a big enough half circle, you could easily mathematically figure out where one elbow is related to the other elbow. And that's, I'm doing it with knees, not elbows, but you know what? Close enough. So I think roughly about right here is where her actual knee is going to go. And I'll just have to readjust all of that. So let's, you know, I thought I had a sharper edge, but apparently I do not. Should have found my pencil sharpener. Shame. Oh well. Okay, and let's see. I think his leg is going to, let's see, his shoulders hit here, and usually for hip distance, it should be more here. And he's probably like, you know, walking forward. So he's got one leg kind of going forward here. So it should be inside the shoulder line. Forget like the distance of it between like shoulder and hip width. I know there's generally something you can calculate from it, but I forget what it is. So I'm going to want to show more like wrinkles on the inside of the thigh, because the pant leg is getting pulled up because it's moving. And let's see. And that's like just gonna be a really rough line of how his like legs are gonna look. Okay, and then I'll also, once I've like finally ink, I'll make sure to like there's clothes there's like the natural ripple in clothes. That will be added too. But I should probably figure that out before I actually put it in ink. And then her kneecap is like right there. So I think I can kind of put that there. And there's usually a bit of a curve inward. I guess I'll actually have to show her shoes on this one. So that's something I'll have to figure out, but wait, no. I'm still going off the old line of where I put my kneecap on her. Alright, time to kneecap someone. In the most unviolent way possible. And that is going to be the center line of the shin. And her leg will not be going, or will not be that wide as she goes down, unless she like surgically altered her legs to have really odd proportions. How much time? Oh, an hour and 17 minutes. What do you know? Okay. So her legs are gonna come down here. Yes, and I will just have to alter her arms once I finish doing this. Or whenever I get around to it. And then her toes, I would say, are going to be like down in that area. And then little bump because the heel, I don't know, those feet look a little funny right now. So I'll have to figure out shoes. I could put her, because technically the game is called cyberpunk, I could make it like more punk look, so it's more of like a booted heel. She doesn't have like a lot of like spikes on her, though her cat apparently does. So that's one thing I could add, is more like of that punk spiky style on here. Who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. Because one thing I don't like doing is drawing toes. I just don't draw toes. I don't have any experience in it, and my learning of how to draw toes is limited because I've never drawn toes. Unless it's some sort of alien monster being. No? Do I usually draw? No, I don't. Not even then. So, as we can see, even though I am decently good at drawing humans, there's still parts of the body I lack in, and don't know, I don't physically lack in body parts, but I mean, I have a collection out in the garage, so I'm covered on plenty of body parts there. But drawing them wise, forget how like a foot looks straight on, but let's see if that is there. So one leg's gonna have to be out, so it's more like a popped. Forget how that. Yeah, I might have to rework her whole leg system. I'll have to put some new wires in it and rewire the fluctuator and the, I can't think of any sciencey names at the moment of space themed wiring. stuff, so oh well. I think that jacket will have more of a rounded. Okay, and then yeah, I think what I can do off camera, and I'll do like another stream because I think I'm going to call it here because I've done an hour and 20 minutes. Is I'm going to go back and like finish refilling out all the, because I have like 4 sets of feet from the cat, her feet, her whole entire leg system. I'm probably going to, I think once I elongate her arms, her torso might be fine, and her head might be fine too. But I'll just like fine tune a bunch of stuff, and then I'll figure out when. I think in this week I'll do another like stream and like show, hey, this is what I'm doing, and just maybe I'll actually, or hey, this is what I've done, and then I might actually get into the inking bit of it, so it might be less than 7 hours than I predicted, but to actually like finish this whole entire thing. But who knows? All right. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next stream.